I suppose it would, wouldn't it? It's still the world, right? The material world.
And we are busy in the world, so we are caught by the busy trap. Our mind is not organized and not aware of what we are seeking. So our ego says, no, I have to do the karma yoga, I'm fulfilling my duty. So fulfilling your duty is one thing without being aware of the reality. Ultimately, all the activities comes under delusion. So, we will start directly with, so that you will be clear what you have written about the consciousness. The way the consciousness is understood in modern science, which is filled in our mind. So I thought better not to respond.
Yeah, I was figuring you would bring it up if it was worth discussing.
Yeah, so I thought better directly go to the verses and give you some idea. We discussed that the first six chapters is Who Am I? 7 to 12th chapters. Opposite of it, what is Ishvara, or what is the supreme ruler or controller or innermost self. We, in the first six chapters, because I am the real self, I have to separate it from the false self. To purify the mind, I have to do the karma yoga. And then ultimately, I have to live my personal, professional, and social life. In contrast, in the 7th and the 12th chapters, we discuss about what is the supreme innermost self. We try to understand. Instead of karma yoga, I would love to go after this Ishvara, or the God, or the supreme controller, or what we normally understand as the supreme consciousness. So now it is the same thing, just a metaphor, an example, that you go to Bill Gates or our dear Elon Musk. So you go there for a favor, for a grace, for a blessing. Oh, so okay, Eric, you take over this department and you manufacture and supply and then finished. So that kind of a grace and the blessing has to be received. It is only received minus the marketing department.
It's funny, the only time I ever consider something as grace is if it was a challenge or like what I would consider bad, right? I always think
Yeah.
I fail to recognize. Well, no, that's not totally true, but I tend to find that it seems like lessons are more ingrained in our
More
challenges
deep.
than our wins don't teach us much, right? But
Now, so simple, but yet very, very subtle. I won't use the word complex, but very subtle. And sometimes it takes months and years to know and to experience it. I'm making it very simple. What is real self we know. And who is an individual? I am, with body, mind, intellect, ego, plus the real self, is an individual. I cannot be an individual without the real self. So I'm an individual means what? I'm in ignorance. And what is Krishna and Ishwar, or a God? Explained by the Gita. Since birth, he is awakened, not an individual, but an absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. What is the difference? Difference is that I live in ignorance, I am still striving to reach to that supreme consciousness, Krishna, Shiva. Now there are two parts. One is born awakened, so he is not an individual. He is not an individual, he is a supreme consciousness. That is why we worship the Krishna, like I gave an example of Elon Musk. So now there are two types of who. One is awakened since birth, and the other is awakened by the practice, by the sadhana. So who is awakened by the sadhana? Our gurus, Ramakrishna Paramhans, Swami Vivekananda, and our great Nisargadatta Maharaj, who was in ignorance, who treated the path from an individual, he also became the supreme inner self. That is the simplest definition.
Well, he recognized it, right? He didn't become anything to be.
So it means Krishna is shouting at you and I'm shouting at you. There is a hell of difference. That is, Krishna is loving you and I'm loving you. There may be an element of attachment would be there, a sense of ignorance is there, but the Krishna is loving, it is a pure love. So that is what we talk about the pure consciousness. We are not talking from the Western approach.
Yeah, I was thinking if we look at everything that's alive, how we cling to our life, right? Our consciousness, how much we want to be alive. And I feel like it's almost like that love is, that's like the only way we know it, right?
Love is the real self. Love is the innermost self. Now see another difference. As an individual, I recognize the real self couple of times, then I fall back into ignorance. I become an individual. I have to perform my duty. I am engaged in the marketing department. I am caught by the Maya and controlled by the delusion. Krishna controls the delusion. I am controlled by the delusion. Now you see that what we are understanding in the next 7 to 12 chapters, we are understanding what is this God element, or what is this God, Ishwar, what we say. Ishwar. Who is that? So now I can instantly compare, I'm in ignorance and he is always full of wisdom in all its activities, so he has not to perform the karma. But in spite of that, he does all the karma without attachment, without any fruit, without expecting any result. That is why even when we meditate on Shiva or we meditate on Krishna, we meditate on Guru, it works. So we are just comparing the two. Ishvara controls the world of Maya, the marketing department. So when I control the entire marketing department, which drives me to delusion, so there is no chance that I will be caught by the delusion and ignorance, but I am controlled by the ignorance. I am controlled by the, just in a lighter note, not organized. Why not organized? Because in ignorance, why have to perform this duty before I join? Well, in a lighter note. Lighter note. But sometimes I also miss the session. Sometimes. But sometimes means rarely. Otherwise, I'm always ready. I told you 10 or 15 minutes before. Why? Oh, my Krishna, you are always ready. So I have also to follow you.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Very simple. I'm giving a very simple explanations, and then we will go into the deeper understanding of this. So you see that Krishna, Shiva, and other. We define that you are Krishna because you, since birth, you have never entered into ignorance. And I am removing the ignorance. I am controlled by the ignorance, and you are controlled by the wisdom.
Is there is Krishna, because I feel like all the other masters in history were not like a Krishna, right? Who else was a Krishna? Is
Krishna,
there
Shiva.
Shiva? Yeah, but that was, I feel like, wasn't that supposed to be like the beginning of man or something? I don't know the whole story,
In a
but
human form, I'm fully awakened by the process of the Eastern wisdom, like Jesus. He reached to that state of, so who is Jesus? He is Krishna. Who is Krishna? He is Shiva. There's only difference between the name and the form, but they all are embodiments of the innermost self. Now I'm just giving a brief of it. There are two layers. One is manifest Krishna, other is unmanifest Krishna, or Shiva, or Jesus, whatever you want to say. Name it. Now understand what is manifest Shiva in the human form. Who taught Arjuna the seeker what is the unmanifest Krishna? Innermost self. Innermost self before the real self. Krishna is the innermost self. He is the unmanifest. So by meditating on the Shiva and the Krishna, I reach to the unmanifest inner self that is known as the Ishvara. So it means that state is present. That state is present all the time in me. But why I don't recognize? Because I'm in ignorance. I'm making it very simplified. I'm simplifying. So that innermost self is called the pure consciousness. Oh, that Krishna, that Shiva, that Jesus. Answer is yes. But in the but I cannot approach the unmanifest easily. Mind will fall into the delusion. So I have to approach through the form. And the form is the Krishna and the Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Klim Krishnaya Namaha. Many mantras like this. Remember this again and again and contemplate. If I am not controlled by the ignorance and the delusion and the marketing department of the world, what kind of a person I would be? My mental state? What could be the mental state before? Before. What the heck, Carlin, you are doing? All the past impression triggers. After. Thank you. Everything is okay. Everything is okay.
I think along the path of as a seeker, you realize like I don't actually know what love is, right? Everything that I've called love is just attachment or delusion, and
So now you see, after there is no delusion, and still your mind is saying, "Hey, Colin, it's okay. Everything is okay." Okay. So that okay means it is the moment of self-giving, not the self-expecting. It is not a matter of attachment. You get some glimpse of what exactly is the love. Aha. Is it possible? We can imitate also, but imitation is ignorance. Yeah,
oh, that's what I realized. So many people are running around acting some kind of way, right? Because they meditate, but I think
Oh,
I
yes.
see. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep striving for the real thing.
So what happens? Say for today example and tomorrow early in the morning, I woke up at around 3:30, and until 6:30, I didn't know where I'm totally absorbed. Totally absorbed. There was no chance of any objection by the body, by the mind, by the intellect, by the ego. There is no objection at all. Total absorption. Yesterday, body was constantly triggering me. Okay, how the mind realized, okay, mind, you are in ignorance. Let us work on it. So it took me couple of minutes to reach to that state. Does it happen to Ramakrishna? Yes. Does it happen to Vivekananda? Yes. Because we are from an individual, we are moving from ignorance to wisdom. Did it happen to Krishna? Answer is no. Why no? That is why he is Ishvara. That is why he is God. Are you getting it? So question is, now the next doubt comes that can I get rid of the ignorance completely? Answer is yes. That is what we have been treating the path, and we find the change in our life. Knowledge has to be realized in stages. So I'm realizing the stages, and I find that I'm now more calm, relaxed, more aware. I can tackle challenge. I can tackle and solve the problems in a different way. I have a different perception about the same people. Yes, I'm treating the path. I'm evolving.
It's funny, once that happens, who cares in that? It's funny, once you're able to do it, you stop caring about it. Right?
Yeah, it will happen.
It's
But
kind of funny.
so we still care, but now, okay, let me care. But not caring in the world means attachment, delusion, pleasure seeking, avoiding the pain, etc. But here, here Krishna takes care of every being. Yes, Krishna says in the Gita, we will learn that he is taking care of everything without expectation, without any expectation. He even takes care who is seeking money from me. I am taking care huh, of those who are feeling stressed, and I'm also taking care who wants to find me within me. But then Krishna makes a statement. That is the beautiful statement. We will learn it perhaps in this chapter or the next chapter. What Krishna says, that anyhow there are four types of seekers. Everyone is seeking me. But the fourth seeker who seeks me through the knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's chapter 8.
I love that seeker the most. Why I love the seeker the most? Because he is me and I am he. That is what is this? This is awakening. That is what? Huh? So we are exploring, yet we are exploring in contrast so that it will become very clear. Other verses in this chapter will become clear. They have given a different, Krishna has given a different name. But let me make it simple first. So you remember in the first six chapters who is an individual and what is the real self. In between it, there is an innermost self, Krishna unmanifest. Then we said, anyone who is living in awakened state since the birth is God, that is Krishna, that is Shiva. So now you have to understand one more part, and that I will take up later. That who is Krishna? What is the difference between Shiva and the Krishna? There is no difference. So why we say Shiva and Krishna? Whatever you like. So, but Krishna is born. So we say it is the Shiva. Shiva is unborn. We don't know the parents of the Shiva.
Mhm.
So there we want to help the seeker that Shiva is unborn. What is unborn is the highest pure consciousness. Because if I'm born, then I'm subjected to. So then I'm leaving that part even. So there are two parts. One who is eternally awakened. There is no trace of ignorance. Krishna, Shiva. That is why we meditate on the Krishna and the Shiva. But at the same time, we should why we meditate on the Shiva, to find the unmanifest Krishna in ourselves before the real self. Oh, that is why the same way. Oh, I want more money, and I had an opportunity to meet Elon Musk, and he is ready to give me a project. I have to simply meet him, and he is ready. He said, okay, okay, here is $500 million for you. That is why the Guru is awakened through a journey. That is why we have a verse, the Guru is like a Krishna, Guru is like a Shiva. I have told you hundreds of times that my Shiva, my Krishna is my master. Finished. So with that understanding, when you do it, you don't look at his form. Form is just a signature, it's a recognition that I'm now going to meditate on the innermost self. That secret nobody is going to tell you unless you have a traditional learning in a master in a secret tradition. You can do it intellectually, but intellectually you may do it. You will not understand that. You will not understand. Simple, logical, intellectual understanding, a human embodiment or a human being or Eric minus ignorance is Krishna. Plus wisdom is Krishna. How simple it is. Also, the Krishna is me and I'm the Krishna, yes. But how do you treat the path? Because now I know all the traits and attributes of the Krishna intellectually, and by removing the ignorance, I reach to that state. I realized. Beauty, that's a beautiful principle and concept of Eastern wisdom. That is what our great master Krishna is trying to. So what this chapter says, that innermost self is the para prakriti. He names it para prakriti, transcending the nature. Transcendent nature is the innermost self. Nobody is told to tell you because these things are not written in the text. Apara prakriti. Apara. Apara is the lower nature. What is that lower nature of the Krishna? That is the five elements plus mind, intellect, and the ego. What is that? That is an individual. So is that also the Krishna? Yes, it is the lower nature of the Krishna. So it means individual plus the real self. What is individual? Individual is a personality. What is personality? It is a mask. What is a mask? It is a manifest human frame. So that what is that human frame? The human frame includes the physical body, subtle body, causal body. Do you see that? Do you see now the things are becoming clear? What is the pure consciousness? That is how we have to understand this. Otherwise, it will not go into the head. Then it will create more delusion. Oh, what is this consciousness? Free from innermost self. But I got a flash of it and I missed it. Okay, let us meditate on the Krishna. Let us meditate on the Shiva. Because now, as an individual, I am meditating on the Shiva to get rid of this individuality, the lower nature, to find.
It feels like without the step of discovering Krishna inside or Shiva, we would have like a gap, right? To go from losing the identity to pure self would be too far of a leap, right? But I could see the God portion is a step that helps us, right?
Now you see that now we step by step understand if Ishvara is everywhere and also the innermost self, why don't I perceive it? Because of the marketing department. What is this marketing department? It is Prakriti. What is Prakriti made up of? Three gunas. Yeah, I know it's a play and a fun for me. The more I understand it, more I start expressing it, the more absorbed I become. If Ishvara's innermost self is everywhere, so Arjuna asked the question, what the heck you are talking to me, Krishna? You are saying that you are everywhere. I see you here. That innermost self is everywhere. I am that Krishna. You are just looking at the name in the form. So, how the master teaches? You have a golden earring, nose pin, necklace, bracelet. There are four things. Really? Are there four things? Or it is only one? If it is a bracelet, let me remove the gold. Show me the bracelet. Let me remove the earring. Let me remove the gold and you take your earring. You take your bracelet. You take your necklace. Gold. That gold is the innermost self. And that innermost self is manifesting in full wisdom as the human frame Krishna. So, Arjuna, you are still guided by the perception of the sense organ and mind. I have told you, you cannot see me through your senses in the mind. You still need a purification. You should move to the higher perception. Then you will find the gold everywhere. This is what we are talking about now. We are not talking of any belief, religion, dogma, cult, etc. We are talking pure understanding. Is it not a fact that I see the necklace and bracelet and I forget the gold? I forget the gold. Which watch you have? Oh, I have a Samsung watch. I forget the time.
I always like to think of, I don't know if it's a good analogy, but the fish in water doesn't know about
You
water,
see,
right?
it's such a beautiful way to transform yourself. Oh, so she asks, who you are? Who I am? Oh, you are Carlin. Who are you? You are my honey. Hold on. You're neither Carlin, you're not honey. You're something more than that. I have to reach to that state of perception. Otherwise,
I mean, how can you have any real relationships until then?
yes, you see that.
I
Okay,
mean,
I was saying in the morning that, yes, do you recognize me? Yes, you are Girish and you are teacher, you are coach in a group session. I said minus consciousness. I There's neither Girish, not a male, not a human being, not 66 years old exist. Now question is, does the earring, necklace, bracelet really exist? If it really exists, then it is hidden in the gold. It does not really exist. It appears to exist, and that is what the delusion is. This human frame appears to exist. Why it appears to exist? Because it is made up of these five elements. Oh, then what is left? Innermost self. What is that innermost self? Our God, Krishna, our Shiva.
Have you ever tried a virtual reality, headpiece at all? Have you ever done that?
Yes, yes. That is the marketing department. That causes the delusion. And
Oh, for sure. But I imagine like we can create an entire world that we trick ourselves into thinking it's real through a device. Of course, our five senses and our nervous system and our eye, they're going to create a world easily that could fool us. It's if a piece of technology can do it.
yes, virtual reality. Because this virtual reality of the world at present, what is that virtual reality just now? What is that? I'm sitting here and you are sitting there. What? I'm referring that I am the body. That is why I'm sitting here. You are also the body. That is why you are sitting there. For the next moment, think, just reflect. What reflect? When this thought I am is not there, did I exist or not? When you thought is not there, did you exist or not? Yes, I still exist. So this virtual reality, we have to get rid of it. This virtual reality, we have to get rid of it to find the Krishna. So we start with the process. Wow. Senses and the mind cannot perceive the reality. What is perceived by them is clouded by the Prakriti, what is called the nature. Here it is the word Prakriti is used. What Prakriti consists of? Prakriti consists of three gunas, Sato, Rajo and Tamo guna. Play of the three guna causes the delusion, causes the Maya. What is Maya? It is the power of Krishna, it is the divine power that conceals and reveals.
Without that feeling, we could never have the revealing, though, right? So it's almost like we have to start from ignorance to become
Yes.
awake.
Ignorance is because of the Maya. Maya is because of the three gunas. Three gunas is because of the Prakriti. Then what is Prakriti? It is the power of the Krishna that conceals and reveals.
Is that like the Leela, like the game, the play of
Yeah,
God?
Leela we will come later. But first we have to get rid of it. We have to understand clearly. Leela is for Krishna. For me, it is a practice. It is a delusion. Why it is a Leela for Krishna? Because he is fully awakened. It cannot be a Leela for me. I can intellectually pose for it and then I will fall into Maya.
No, I was thinking if maybe Krishna, the Leela is right for our own good and also for his just play and fun, right? Amuse. I don't know.
Sometime our
Seems like
intellect coupled with the I thought starts cheating us, and that is also the Maya. So it means I'm already caught in the Maya. just see. Such a beautiful, even if I think that, fully awakened, there is no bit of ignorance in a human form. Is it possible? We know by our experience that it is possible. That is why we are treating the path. We have experienced many results. Those issues and the challenges which used to cause so much of stress, now it is a play and fun for me. So it is going to happen again. It means I have to remove the ignorance completely. So what will happen? Let us know the life of the Krishna. Let us know the attributes of the Krishna. How Elon Musk made $400 billion. Let me know. Let me know the Krishna. How to know the Krishna? More and more meditate on the Krishna. Know its attributes. Know how he works, how he responds. I have never seen the Krishna character as a character Krishna, that he was upset on anything at any point of time. Even in the war, he is laughing and he is smiling. Oh, that is the first lesson, yes. Can I remain in the mood of smiling all the time? Oh, I forget it. I'm in ignorance. So I have to follow the Krishna. That is why we talk about devotion. That is why we talk about emotional resilience. Devotion is nothing but emotional resilience. The emotional is taken away by my past impressions, that causes the ignorance. I fall into the maya of the marketing department that is going to take me to the hell, but I consider it is going to take me to the heaven. What is the marketing department of this world or the maya? Oh, I will be happy if I talk like this. I will be happy if I earn this much. I will be away from the illness.
I like this one teacher says, if you give a monkey a saxophone, it doesn't make him a musician. Right? He says you can't imitate Christ or Buddha.
Imitate.
It's not going to work.
There is a hidden maya behind it. I was just talking, it came to my mind, and I said, wow, this is so good, a revelation. You go to the doctor, they investigate your all the blood and everything, and they say here is a medical report. They don't say here is a medical complaint. Text is the same. All the evaluation is the same, but they don't say it is a medical complaint. They say it is a medical report. Medical report so that I can work on it to get rid of it. Medical complaint is Maya. That is what I do constantly. I constantly blame and complain and react to the world of events, people, relationship. That is the Maya. We are not defining Maya. We are understanding how I am living in Maya and ignorance.
Do you think, would you be willing or able to create a practice for me that has a Krishna type of mantra?
Yes,
I have this strain. I've been like on the images of Krishna. It's kind of like flooding my entire existence, and I can't get rid of it. Or I don't want to. But.
Try this couple of times, otherwise we'll have one session. Try couple of times and see how your mind progresses or evolves. When you are saying Om Namah Shivaya, you see the image of Krishna.
That's what's happening now.
That is much better. So just see that you are getting absorbed into. So what is happening? The pleasure is a trap. Pain is a trap. Profit is a trap. Loss is a trap. It is part of the world and the Maya. It is a play of the three gunas. It is the play of the three gunas. So should I not work? No, I should continue to work. I should fulfill my duty. I should continue to do the karma yoga.
I mean, even if we tried not to, we're gonna do it.
Now, should I not?
I realize like we don't really have as much control as we want to think, right? If we're meant to work, we're going to work. I mean, there's just you're not going to be able to not work, right? Or yeah, whatever it is.
Should I not earn money? Yes, I should earn money. Need based, my attitude changed. This is I need. I need 1 million. But the moment it is desire prompted, pleasure prompted action, that is causing the problem. Pleasure prompted action is Maya. That is why we say we have to do what we have to do. We have to do the karma yoga. Now, it is very important, we have to understand still the Ishwar. I know the mind will create more doubts about it, and so create as many doubts while contemplating on that. So, for more clarity, I want to use one sutra given by Patanjali, the very definition of Ishwar. The first chapter, 24th sutra. So I'm just making it very clear to you. You want to imagine? Yes, imagine. Reflect on it. After reflection and just conceive and think, then what is this? Patanjali is talking. He is giving a definition of Ishvara. Klesha karma vipakashaya paramristaha purusha vishesha ishvaraha. So he using couple of words. So we will go one by one. He says he is beyond all klesha. First word he uses. Klesha. Klesha means suffering. Suffering, then Patanjali explains what causes the klesha. There are 5 factors. Ignorance first. From the ignorance, it causes ego. Ego causes raga and dvesha, means attachment and detachment. And attachment, all the first four factors forces the mind to sit in the body. Even I am not aware, and still I recognize I am the body. Intellectually I say I am the real self. Mentally I continue to feel that I am the body. That is what the klesha is. So who is Ishvara? Who is free from the klesha? For only the first part of it. First part. Klesha karma vipaka. He is beyond all the karma, all the actions, because our actions comes from the desire, and we say you have to purify the desire, so that we are doing the karma, but the Krishna is free from the karma. Why? Because he is free from the desire. Why he is free from the desire? There is no trace of past impression in him. No, there is no trace of past, but still he is doing karma. He is doing karma for the sake of karma. It is a play, it is a lila for him. It is a burden for me.
Well, that's karma yoga, sort of, right? He's karma yoga, we're karma. Or me.
Yes, you see that? He is beyond the karma. Second part of the definition. Third part, vipakaha. What is vipakaha? Vipakaha means that the fruits or results of the karma. I said something, for example, you said something to her, and now you have those impressions in your mind. The results of the karma, whether it's a good or bad, that depends on you. You have said something to your honey, so those impressions relive. That, oh, what about Krishna? Oh, he has he has no impressions at all. Now imagine, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. During our day, we have those moments.
Mm-hmm.
It may be for few seconds, but Krishna lives eternally in that moment. Now you see the difference. Karma, so I have covered Klesh, Karma, Vipak, Ashaya. What is Ashaya? Ashaya Sanskrit word refers to the subconscious impression, the past impression, the storehouse of karma. They are dormant. They are going to be activated in this life or the next life. What about Krishna? He is free. He is free.
I imagine being in that state, you'd have like all the time in the world.
Oh, just think of that. Yes, yes, you got the right point. Think of that. So now we are very clear about whom I worship or meditate. And then, no, not yet complete. Then, aparamrastaha is not tainted. He remains untouched by all these crazy stuff of attachment, detachment, etc., etc., etc. Untouched. Untouched by the Maya. Why? Because he controls the Maya. Why I am not untouched? Because Maya controls me. Delusion controls me. Purush, that person is a witness self or a witness consciousness. That is the innermost self, and that innermost self is the Ishvara, and that Krishna is the Ishvara. So he lives in the human form and he is the Ishvara. Answer is yes. So Patanjali never left there. In the same verse, he says a spatial Purusha. You have to understand very clearly what it means by Purusha. Pur is a prefix, Pur, Purusha, Pur. So we have names of the cities in India: Nagpur, Jodhpur, Raipur, Hastinapur. Pur. Pur means a city. So Purusha. Purusha means an individual who lives in the city of body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego, plus past impressions, plus Maya. So we all are Purusha. But Krishna is a special Purusha. So Patanjali says he is a special Purusha. Why he is a special Purusha? He is not affected by that. He is not affected by the city.
Is that the city of 9 gates or whatever they say?
Oh, no, 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 that is different.
Oh, that's
City,
different. Okay.
city. City means the city of Purush Vishesh. You know, Nagpur. Nagpur is a city in India. So Pur, I'm just going into the prefix, the Pur. So when we say Purusha, Purusha is also an individual. Purusha means consciousness plus body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego. That becomes an individual. There is a special individual who is not affected by these things. That is the definition of Purusha. Come on, what a beauty of understanding. So when we are a seeker and you start contemplating and reflecting, you say, yes, it is not possible. Yes, there are moments. Uh, there are moments when I do not experience any impression coming from the Maya. It means I'm free from the delusion. What is that? That is the reflection of the innermost self. We all have an experience. Nobody can deny it. So, what is this individual Purusha? Entanglement with the suffering. What is that suffering? Ignorance, ego, attachment, detachment, and I am the body. Karmic bondage coming from the karma. I have to do lot of stuff in my life. My mind continues. Krishna has to do nothing and still doing everything as a play and a fun, like a Hollywood actor. subject to consequences. I am definitely subject to consequences because of ignorance. I do the good karma, I earn merit. I do the bad karma, I earn demerit. What about Krishna? Has nothing to do with it. Accumulated impressions. I still have those impressions which prompts me to perform certain actions in my life, prompted by the three gunas. I have a limited knowledge. Krishna has unlimited knowledge. I am on an evolutionary journey. He has nothing to undertake. He has no journey at all. There is a dependent reality. He has an independent reality, spatial Purusha, free from all the kleshas. Beyond karma, beyond karma, he transcends consequences. No mental impressions is there. He just performed the karma and done and finished. He is omniscient. I am limited. He is eternally free. I am half limited, half bound, and sometimes I feel the sense of freedom. Dependent reality, independent reality. Did you find out what Krishna says? You have to find me, or the God, or the innermost self within yourself. It is not outside. It is not in the temple or the churches. It is not in the organized religion. Don't don't do that. But again, then why, for a primary seeker, for the beginner who is driven by the Maya and lot of past impressions, caught in attachment and detachment due to the ego, so at least he looks at the structure of the temple in the church, and there he hears that the God sits there. His ego hurts. Is there something greater than my ego? That begins his journey. We don't oppose anything. We see the logic, we see the what is hidden behind it. That is why our master says never, never reject any religion. Never say anything bad about any religion. You have no right. Why? Because you are a seeker. It
It's
is
funny, it comes
designed.
naturally.
It is designed by the supreme existence. Who the hell you are to blame and complain? Look at the beauty of Krishna's teaching. Now, yeah, what is the difference between how we perceive and Krishna perceives? We think we are the doers, but Krishna says we are doing nothing. Still, he is doing everything, and but it appears he is doing everything, but he is not doing. We believe we exist in the world, but Krishna says the world exists in me. That is the beautiful principle. We'll talk about it. Well, I have already given a reference, but then I will talk about it. How come the world exists in me? It is not the other way, but I feel I exist in the world. That is the greatest delusion.
It makes sense to me. I think if we have no form and we're all
Yeah.
encompassing, then anything, the world, the universe, it's all in us, right? In consciousness.
Yes. Yes. We think we have a relationship. Krishna says there is only one reality, that is pure consciousness, which is eternal and all pervading. So how you can have relationship? You can only have a relationship if there are two. There is no two at all. There is no duality at all. So it indicates the journey to evolve, to reach to that state. We believe we are mortal beings because I told you that I am the body. Krishna says we are immortal consciousness. Then only we reach to the pure consciousness is immortal. Now question comes, how to treat the path. Master says you have to start with the belief, what the Krishna says, what the Eastern wisdom says, and start processing the information and prove it. How you do it? The way the sum of angles of a triangle is 180-degree, prove it. The Krishna. So there's like the geometrical math teacher already given you the answer. The sum of angles, three angles of a triangle is 180-degree, prove it. And the student says, you have already told me the answer, so I have proved it is 180-degree. You failed in the examination, you have to prove it. The very process is what we are learning in every lesson. We are just proving. We know we are the real self. Yes, but I have to prove. Why to prove? I acknowledge, I recognize, I now experience that I am that. But on the other side, we reduce our sorrow, we reduce our footprints of ego, we let go of attachment and expectations, we experience inner peace and happiness and the joy as we treat the path. What is just opposite what happens? Why it does not happen? The lack of faith. First is the lack. Now we say the lack of faith.
I'm smiling because I think when we start the path, that's all we really want, right? Is some peace of mind and ability to do our job better. And then as you go, you realize, oh, there's no way I'm stopping there. That's not even what I care about, right? It's an outcome, but it's not what I want.
That is how there is a young guy, he is hardly now 27 or 28, living in Midwest, some state. Uh, he was taking drugs and he was meditating. He did not tell me long back in, I would say, 2015-16. For 2 years, he thought awakening is just a trick, let me continue to take the drug and let me awaken myself. And 2 years he got into depression. And I asked you that you didn't tell me. You did not tell me. Now see the positive side. Since 2018, I'm here, and he contacted me last month. So I said, "What you are doing?" "I'm a doctor now." "Wonderful. I want to continue the journey." So thanks to the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, which I passed as it is to him, which inspired him to come back to me. It is not me, not at all. I don't take any credit. I said, "Oh, you returned, sir, we will continue our journey." Now I have understood. What you have taught me, I have understood clearly. Obviously, because you have returned back to me, it means you have absorbed some part of it. So lack of faith causes the problem, lack of proper guidance, because if you are teaching away from the principles of Eastern wisdom from these texts, then the teacher is cheating you. No, this is my meditation. No, then it's a cheating. There is nothing that belongs to the teacher. Third problem is inconsistency in our practice. Unstable temperament that is caused by the marketing department. There are the reasons. You have prarabdha, the past impression coming from the previous birth, and impressions of this birth. So the prarabdha, if you had some past impression, that period perhaps has gone. We were not in touch with each other for a couple of years. You were enjoying the marketing department created by the Krishna that is known as the Maya. But that enjoyment proved to be false. No, I'm just remembering.
It had to happen, right? It was the
I also tell myself, oh, you are
away.
enjoying
Right?
it? I also tell myself, okay, today you went to this restaurant. No, my honey asked me to go there. So, okay. But you had that intention. No, I did not have this intention. Why I did not have that intention? Because I took the food as it is, the way I take the food at my home. Are you sure? And I feel that yes, it is good. Now it is good. Now it is a play. Now it is a play and a fun. So every adversity is an opportunity. Every problem is an opportunity. Every pain is an opportunity. That pain is a medical report. But if the pain is a medical blame, medical complaint, then there is a problem. Why it happens? I'm just explaining about the marketing department of the world. What marketing department does? It says, come on, this is wonderful. You are going to marry the Miss Universe. Uh, so your pleasure seeking would be extraordinarily different from any other relationship. That is the marketing department. do you, I'm just so my mind should work in that direction, in that way. Whether I'm eating or driving or I bought a new shirt. Oh yeah, buy a new shirt. No problem. But if the mind is seeking the material pleasure which is immediate, is Maya, is delusion. I have to recognize that. Why? It is a desire, no, pleasure prompted desire. So should I not buy? Buy it. Who says not do it? Material success has clear timelines and outcomes. But after that, we forget about that pleasure. We forget about the sexual pleasure. We forget about the food pleasure coming from the food. And that is why the Maya pulls me, Rajasic Guna pulls me to have it again. So then I have a repeat pleasure. Repeat pleasure is greed. Greed, that attachment causes the delusion. I'm caught in the Maya again. That journey continues. So that is why the master has given the master has no many masters. Krishna has not given the title of this chapter. It is other masters who says knowledge, intellectual understanding, realization is vijnana, is a spatial knowledge. How? By understanding. How? By removing the ignorance. How? By understanding who is the Ishvara in me, working behind me. I'm already trapped by the ignorance. So that is the